More than 3,800 young people in Nghệ enthusiastically enlist in the military.
The Pentagon admits it cannot intercept all Iranian attack.
Cambodia vows to eliminate all online scam centers within the next month.
Hello, so good to see you again in today's news. I'm Truyen, and here we go, the first half of the show. On the morning of March 5th, along with many localities nationwide, Nghe An province simultaneously held the 2026 military enlistment handover ceremony in a solemn and festive atmosphere.
According to official statistics, the quality of new recruits this year has continued to improve. More than 76% of recruits meet Grade 1 and Grade 2 health standards. Over 5% hold college, university or vocational qualifications, and more than 36% volunteered for military service. In addition, over 25% of the recruits are from ethnic minority groups, reflecting the strong sense of responsibility among young people across the province. At enlistment ceremonies across the province, leaders of Military Region 4 and Nghệ An province attended the events, presenting flowers and offering encouragement to the recruits before their departure. At the Area 2 Defense Cluster in Queen Lu District, 1044 young men from 27 communes and wards were selected for service and assigned to units including the Nghệ An Border Guard, the 968th Division, Military Region 4, the Navy, the Air Defense Air Force, and other units under the Ministry of National Defense and the Ministry of Public Security, to ensure the enlistment ceremonies were conducted in a solemn and safe manner. Local authorities made thorough preparations, from recruitment and health examinations to logistics, security and support policies for military families. As a result, Nghệ An fulfilled 100% of its enlistment quota, contributing young manpower to the mission of building and safeguarding the nation.
U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth on March 4th acknowledged that American and allied air defense systems cannot fully intercept Iran's missiles.
I stand before you today with one unmistakable message about
Speaking to reporters at the Pentagon, U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth said the United States has mobilized all necessary resources and capabilities to strengthen air defense systems in order to protect U.S. forces and regional allies, following U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran since February 28. Hegseth also warned that the conflict could last longer than initially predicted, depending largely on developments on the battlefield. Meanwhile, Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Dan Kane declined to comment on the possibility of the United States deploying ground troops to Iranian territory, a scenario that President Donald Trump has previously not ruled out. According to figures released by the U.S. military, the number of ballistic missiles launched by Iran has dropped by about 86% compared with the first day of the campaign, while drone attacks have decreased by 73%. For its part, Tehran said it would continue retaliatory actions and warned that the conflict in the Middle East could further expand.
At the opening of the 2026 Cambodia Asian Business Summit in Phnom Penh, Cambodian Prime Minister Hun pledged that the country would eliminate all online scam centers by April 2026.
Earlier, in a rare interview with AFP on the sidelines of his visit to Brussels, Belgium, Prime Minister Hun acknowledged that the existence of online scam centers in Cambodia in recent years has damaged the country's international reputation. He said cyber fraud networks are part of an underground economy that undermines legitimate economic activities and negatively affects the country's tourism sector as well as efforts to attract foreign investment. However, Hun rejected claims that Cambodia's economy depends on illegal activities. In recent years, Cambodia has emerged as a regional hotspot for organized cybercrime groups in Southeast Asia. These networks often carry out large-scale scams, including romance fraud schemes and cryptocurrency investment scams, targeting victims around the world.
Upcoming are some updated news.
The real estate market in Nghệ An is showing signs of recovery as several commercial housing and social housing projects have been launched since late 2025. If construction stays on schedule, nearly 1,000 apartments are expected to be completed and put into use by late 2026 or early 2027. In the coming years, the total supply of commercial apartments in the province could reach 3,000 to 4,000 units. At the same time, the province is prioritizing the development of social housing. In 2026, authorities aim to complete 2,000 units, with an average target of nearly 6,000 units per year in the following years. Local authorities have identified the removal of legal bottlenecks, faster project approvals and the implementation of preferential credit policies as key measures to stabilize the market, ensure social welfare and support sustainable urban development.
Amid rising global oil prices in recent days, driven by unpredictable political and security developments, particularly the escalating conflict in the Middle East, the global energy market has faced supply pressures and higher price levels. In the upcoming adjustment scheduled for the afternoon of March 5th, domestic fuel prices are expected to increase. Gasoline prices may rise by 1750 to 2050 Vietnamese dongs per liter, while diesel and other oil products could increase by 1150 to 3,300 Vietnamese dongs per liter or kilogram compared with the previous adjustment on February 26. The Department of Domestic Market Management and Development under the Ministry of Industry and Trade has issued official dispatch number 544, calling for stronger inspection and oversight of fuel trading activities nationwide to proactively prevent risks and promptly detect and strictly handle violations in the petroleum business.
At MWC 2026, Qualcomm intensified the global race for 6G by announcing strategic partnerships with major technology companies including Samsung, Microsoft, Nokia, Meta, Amazon and Google. The partnerships aim to accelerate the development of 6G technology, with expectations that commercial 6G networks could be launched as early as 2029. This also means the first 6G network infrastructure could begin to appear as early as this year. Like previous generations of mobile networks, 6G is expected to deliver significantly faster connectivity. Some forecasts suggest download speeds could reach up to 280 gigabits per second, around 14 times faster than the theoretical maximum speed of 5G, allowing users to download a 50 gigabytes file in just 1.4 seconds.
In the first days of 2026, the production activity has resumed briskly at garment factories across Nghe An province. Early orders and signs of market recovery are creating momentum for the garment industry to accelerate the production in the first months of the year. More in this story today.
At Minh An Du Luong Garment Joint Stock Company, workers quickly returned to their production lines right after the Tet holiday. With sewing lines operating steadily, early orders have not only helped stabilize production but also provided reassurance for employees at the start of the year. A positive start means stable income, more opportunities for overtime and stronger motivation for workers to stay with the company long term.
Orders this year are showing more positive signs compared with the same period last year. Fortunately, our workforce has remained stable.
It's good to have new orders from clients this year. We are working hard to improve skills to meet the demand. The year 2026 is expected to continue the recovery trend for the textile and garment industry. However, the sector still faces pressure from increasingly strict green standards and intense competition from countries with advantages in labor and supply chains, requiring businesses to keep innovating to maintain their markets.
This requires us to meet both green production standards and labor and environmental requirements for our workforce.
Transitioning to sustainable production, investing in technology and training a skilled workforce have become urgent requirements for maintaining long-term orders. At the same time, workers' skills must be improved and awareness of technical regulations and international labor standards strengthened. By the end of 2025, Nghệ An's garment export turnover exceeded 755 million United States dollars. For the 2026 to 2030 period, the province aims for an average growth rate of 16 to 17% per year, targeting about 1.6 billion United States dollars in exports by 2030. With the strong momentum seen in the first months of the year, the garment industry is expected to continue making breakthroughs and contribute significantly to local economic growth.
The last story descended our news today. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye for now.